program is part of the Scene Project's podcast network. The Scene Project features interviews with independent musicians, comedians, and artists from across the Midwest. Become part of our community and support local art wherever you are.
Well, the clouds are blocking out the sun today, and I'm nervous about what the day will bring. I got too many troubles, just not enough time. Travel to the mountains, take a couple days to unwind, to unwind, to unwind my mind. But I won't give in to misery. There's too much on my plate today. I gotta keep on running so I can breathe, leaving my troubles in the songs I sing. Lord, I sing. But there is too many things that I've got left to do. Forget about all I've got to lose. Sun is fading now, it's time to choose. Is being myself, won't forgetting you. Wake up early and I scratch my head. Take a look around this room I'm in. This backpack is holding my life inside. I'm always running cause I just can't hide. Now starts up just like yesterday. Rolls on a platter in front of me. Spirits, won't you help me please? Help me stay hungry. Help me stay hungry. Cause there is too many things that I've got left to do. Forget about all I've got to lose. Sun is fading now, it's time to choose. Is being myself, won't forgetting you. It's worth forgetting you. Forgetting your friends, forgetting yourself, forgetting to call me when you need some help. Whenever you're scared, I'll be right there. We'll get together and forget our cares. Come and take my hand, I'll heal your heart. I wrote you this song for when we are apart. But tonight we're like one, burning bright as the sun. Watching our love and rapture everyone. Come along with me, I know you'll see. It's not that we lead, it is our destiny. I made my peace, I make my way. Open these doors so I can lead my faith. Cause there is too many things that I've got left to do. Forget about all I've got to lose. Sun is fading now, it's time to choose. Is being yourself, won't forgetting you. Isn't worth forgetting you. Isn't worth forgetting you. Forgetting you.
Welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. You are here tonight for Love Noise, and this is presented by the Midwest Original Music Organization. Special guest tonight, my good buddy, Dalton Jones. DJ, welcome back to The Scene, brother.
What's going on, man? Yeah, it's good to be back, man. I tell you, it's you guys are so great and love what you do, and always happy to come and hang out.
Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure to watch what you've done since the last time being on the show. It feels like a lifetime ago, right? But it was really only a few months, and you've been on such a run, getting this music out there that you recorded. Now, the last time you were on the show, you were sharing some of your old stuff that you recorded at home, and you were fresh out of the studio. You shared a little snippet with us. Now that song's topping charts on Kickin' Country and all over the country. You're on radio stations all over the place. It's just been this meteoric rise for you. And I thought this was a great time to bring you in before you're too big of a star to want to come back, that we catch you now. And we have you kind of teach us a little bit about what you did. Let us into the back door of the process of how, you got this out there, because you don't have a team. Right? You don't have a label and a PR, giant behind you that's doing this. You've been accomplishing this all on your own. And I thought that was such a cool story. And especially for our Midwest Original Music Organization meetups that we've been doing here for almost a year, that we've been doing these things. And we're tending to be more consistent now after the new year and through 2026. So happy to have you back, man. Let's start at the studio. You were only in there for one day the last time we had talked, and I know you had some follow-up sessions and everything. So talk about that experience, working with a producer on this, someone who's worked with some really big names, all the experience that they bring to the table. What do you think the value to that was? Not necessarily in the monetary side. We know that it costs money to work with these guys, but how did it add to the songs that you were bringing into the studio?
Yeah, well, I can say that, working with Josh, I mean, he's phenomenal. He is just such a talent. He's a freak musician. He was a touring guitarist, toured with major acts. I mean, Billy Currington, Dierks Bentley, Big and Rich. He's cut tracks for Hardy, cut tracks for Ella Langley. I mean, he's done music for the big people, and he just knows music, man. He's a drummer. He's a true drummer. That's where he got his start, was playing drums as a kid. And so he kind of gravitated over to guitar, but he can play pretty much any instruments you put in front of him. But having somebody like that is that knowledgeable about music and that just knows, he's been there, he's experienced it. He told me the very first time that I went in and recorded with him, we sat down, we had a little bit of a conversation, got to know each other, kind of break the ice. And he said, my job is to make a song with you that's going to get as many plays and as many people to listen to it as possible. Like that's what my job is. And, when he kind of put it that way and shared that with me, it was just so cool to be able to hear that. And, he gave me some feedback on some of my songs. He's like, maybe we were to speed it up a little bit, or, maybe we change the way you enunciate these words here, not really so much as a vocal coach, but more or less just giving me the insight and the ideas, right? Try to give you just little things here to kind of spark the creativity and get the juices flowing. So it was really awesome. Great experience. I can tell you, a lot of times when you work with a producer, they pre-cut the track. A lot of times they'll pre-cut the track before you ever get there. So when you're a vocalist, you get there, the track's already done. You just got to go and sing, which is cool. But being able to be there and be a part of the entire process and get to watch him kind of orchestrate this and create the song from scratch. I mean, everything from like the ambience of the song to like building that up at the start of the song and putting the keys in there and the organ and everything else. It was so cool of an experience for me to watch all that happen firsthand and see how it's done. And he's basically a musical I mean, he's a musical engineer. I mean, that's what he is. But like, just watch him work as almost like a technician, and he's building that stuff together piece by piece. It was so.
That's exactly building the song. It was like watching a movie for you, I'm sure. And as the songwriter, what a cool feeling that is to like, oh, that's exactly how it sounded in my head. And if it didn't, you're able to go back and tweak it like, hey, man, I think this is a little bit like this. And I'm sure that first song and even the experience from the first one through the third one that like, and I understand this from having done it myself, from being like, I don't want to make any suggestions that first time. You're just like so in awe of it. But then as you're going through and you're working on some of the subsequent tracks, are you adding a little bit more feedback and starting to be like, hey, can we do this instead of, this, and starting to become more of less of an observer, I guess, of it, and actually being able to participate a little bit because that, I don't want to say the shine's worn off of it, but you've been there before now.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and practice makes perfect, and you learn. I mean, the more you do things, the more you practice, the more you learn and get better at it. And, that was one of the really cool things about that first experience. I mean, I was just awe-stricken. Like, I mean, I was like, what? I was just blown away by what he did with building that song. And I mean, I can tell you that experience, if you're an artist or a musician and you've never had a song professionally, and I mean professionally, recorded and tracked, that experience is like you can do some really cool things at your house. And I did some cool things here with my little studio setup, but that experience is just, there's nothing like it. It's so cool. And, as we went through and did the next two sessions, I was able to talk more and give him a little bit more feedback and say, hey, can we do this or can we do that? Like, for example, the second song that we recorded was Whiskey Jesus and Waylon. And I gave some feedback, while we were recording that, and it was sounding great. It was great. And I get in the car and I leave. He's gave me the track. And that's the great thing about Josh is we get there, he builds the track, cuts it, we do the vocals, he gives me a rough mix when I walk out the door that day, all in one day. And his mixes are like master quality. I mean, they're good. And so I get in the car and I start driving down the road, and the first time I listened to the song, I was like, it needs fiddle. It needs fiddle. 100% needs fiddle in it. And I immediately text Josh and I said, dude, I know what this song needs. It needs fiddle in it. And he said, bro, I was thinking that the whole time while we were recording it and doing it, but I didn't know if that was what you wanted to do, if that was the vibe you want. I said, absolutely, that's the vibe I want, dude. Let's get fiddle tracked on it. So we were able to work with Tim Crouch, which is renowned fiddle player. I mean, he played with Alan Jackson. He worked with Dolly Parton, with George Jones. I mean, some greats. And so he tracked the fiddle on that for me. And it was so cool. That was even more cool, I think, than anything else, was getting to hear it with the fiddle on it and just have that different perspective of that song.
That's the part some people forget when you're working at these studios, is the caliber of players that you have, or a producer that has those connections, and the people that you can end up with on your record that you don't know, that are even out there, right? You're not thinking about that at all. And all of a sudden you got a guy that's played with some legends that's throwing something on and they're happy to do it. That's the thing I think we forget, that not everybody is in this for the money. I think a lot of us working musicians, and it's easy to get caught up in that you want everyone to make a living, and a lot of players want to make a living and have to get paid, but sometimes it's just about serving the song that's on the table, and the money will come. So I think for our young artists that are out there and these talented musicians that are out there, and we understand everybody's got to make something, but nickel and diming your way through life ain't never going to turn into something special. It's sometimes the moments when you say, hey, buddy, I'll get you back later, or, I just want to be a part of this thing, that you're not necessarily giving anything away, but you're giving into something that's greater than you are. And I think that's why we had so much great music in the, 60s and 70s, because everybody was just hanging out making music. It wasn't about the damn money at all. It was about making great music and capturing amazing moments on tape. And I feel like I feel like we're going to get back to that, because the money's been completely sucked out of the music business by the major conglomerates, by your UMG and all the people that own Spotify. And now they're just creating AI artists that top the charts, and they don't have to pay any human being, right? So I think they're changing their own paradigm, which is kind of crazy, right? And it's putting power back into the independent artists and for people that just want to make great music.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Well, and I think it's like all things, AI and all these things that are happening. I think there's a place for AI, and I think it's got some good benefits, but at the same time, like you said, I think it's going to really empower artists again. I think it's going to bring back live music. I think it's going to bring it back with a fury. Because not that live music has just gone away, because it's still very prominent, but I think it's going to make it even more prominent than it already is. But because people are going to yearn for that, like that personal connection, they want to be able to see that guy or that gal up there on stage and see them singing and hear their lyrics and their words, and know that it came from a place of in the heart. And I think that's another thing that's going to happen, unfortunately, with AI and a lot of things that are happening, is you're going to see a lot of true songwriting go out the window, because people are going to be like, oh, well, I just get AI to write the song for me and cut it and go. But, I feel like that having somebody that can sit and write a true song that came from their heart, it came from a real experience that they lived, and they can tell you the story of why they wrote it, where they were, all the great songs of all time, they all have a story, and you can listen to that story as to why they wrote that, what place they were in, so it's just, I think it definitely is going to bring more power back to true songwriters.
Well, and that's the relatability of music. The reason that we love a great song is because it reminds us of a moment in our heart. It's not just because it's a great song. It's because it's the bringing up the memories of either, sometimes it's the first time you heard the song, or it's a situation that you were in that seems familiar. It gives you a voice. It gives you the words where you maybe don't have them through a heartbreak or even through the greatest moments of your life, right? It gives us the words. Music speaks in the silent moments, right? And that is the beautiful thing about it. And I can't agree with you more. I think that AI and everything that it's doing is only making what me and you do as live performers even more valuable. We're going to start charging more for our services and making the money that we should be, because people are going to be sick of it, and you're already seeing a lot of people turning on it. Now, I use a ton of AI in my editing bay and in a lot of, automation of things that we can do, because I need to, right? I don't have a huge team around us with the scene projects to be able to put this out. And we put out over 1,500 videos on YouTube in like 9 months, right? Like that doesn't happen without AI. Okay. I don't get the 350,000 views on our YouTube channel without it. So it has its place and purpose. And I think it has a place even in songwriting and getting these demos out. What Suno can do now is absolutely incredible, but it's not going to replace any of us. It's never going to be able to give a person that feeling of getting your feelings out on a piece of paper, watching it come to life in the studio, and then taking that song out either to the radio or bringing it out to, the live setting and playing it and having people go, man, that reminds me of my grandma, or that reminds me of a moment with my wife, or like, it's never going to replace that, right? It might be a good song. There's plenty of good songs, but it's never going to replace that feeling that it gives us as songwriters, or that it dictates to other people, right? And to strike people that way, because there's never going to be, if you just have a pure AI artist, that artist is never going to be able to stand on a stage and look you in the eye.
Yeah.
And what does everybody want to go and stand front row for?
Right.
So you can, oh my God, he looked at me. He's singing right to me, you want that moment. And what kind of, James Hetfield was on one of the like CBS Today or something about a month ago, and they were doing an interview with him. And Hetfield, the lead singer of Metallica, probably in his late 60s now, I would assume. Yeah. They've been around. They've done it all. They've been playing arenas for 35 freaking years. And they're like, what keeps you going? And he's like, when I look out in that crowd and I lock eyes with that person and they're got the freaking horns up and they are into it and they are singing their heart out to every word. And he's like, man, that charges me right up. I'm ready to go again and to keep doing this. And I'm going to keep doing it until I can't. And it was like, oh yeah. And it's the exact same thing in the crowd. That's what keeps us coming back and paying for tickets and going to shows and to fight the lines and to go through all the things just to get that night out. It's for that. And I think if, Hetfield can remember that, then all of us can too. And obviously not all of us are going to touch the sun like Metallica has for the last 4 decades. But man, you're going to have those moments as an artist in some capacity. I promise you, if you write music and you go out there and you play it in front of people, you're going to have moments like that in your life. And they're going to be the best moments that when you're on your deathbed and you're thinking about, you're replaying that movie, you're going to remember those moments. I promise you. And I can't wait to watch my life in review, right? When we get our moment and get to play it back and to see all the joy that we've brought to people and to know that we wrote that. We performed that. We played that instrument. We played that song out there. Nobody's ever going to take that away from you. And AI will never be able to generate that. It will never be able to feel that as a machine. It doesn't have those feelings, right? So it's going to lack that whole experience. And so that's why I've never been scared of it. I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool for people that are not musicians to be able to take a feeling that they've had and a story and to be able to use it to craft a song and to write it. And whether they're using AI to help in the writing process or they're bringing the AI in on the production side. I mean, I've heard Suno spit out stuff that I would never be able to play in a studio. Right? Like I would never be able to do that. Now I'm not using it to that effect. I know a lot of people are. I'm too old school, right? I grew up playing around the campfire, DJ. You're not going to get me into that. But I think it's really cool that it gives people that power now and that opportunity to get it's like maybe a tenth of what we get to feel as real music artists, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, I use it. I use it a lot too. Doing things like helping to build an EPK or, things that crafting emails and stuff like that, dude. Like I use it for that kind of stuff all the time. Like,
right. So let's hit on that. We were talking about you getting out into the radio stations and everything. Now, did you use a lot of Chat GPT in there to help you craft these pitches into these stations and then be able to maybe automate some of the processes on the backside to help you do it? Did you use it to compile a list of the radio stations that you wanted to reach out to? Like how did you use it, I guess? Not necessarily how much, but how were you using it to really help you maximize your time in getting this song out there?
Yeah. So no, I definitely used it for that. So, I used it to help me do some research, to help me find the radio stations, to help me find the stations that were focused on the genre that I'm in, right? That's a key thing. If you're an artist out there and you're trying to get your stuff on the radio, don't just send your songs to any radio station. Or especially if you're paying to submit your songs, like there are some sites out there that I would highly recommend use because I use them, like the Groovers of the world and some of the others. Like they're fantastic. But do your research. Like don't just get on there and be like, hey, I'm going to send my song to every person that pops up on the list, because that's not going to work. They're going to say, yeah, that's not our style. We don't want it. And it's just like country music. I know that some of my songs are more like outlaw country, and then I've got some that are more like country rock, and they're a little bit more upbeat. And so a lot of the older, like honky tonk country stations are not going to want to play my music, and that's okay. And then there's going to be stations that are going to, eat it up. So there's definitely a lot of research there. I used it for a lot of that. I also used it for crafting emails, helped me build my EPK. Of course, I use a lot of, I see Willie's over there saying hey to us. We there's a lot, that I use it for crafting those emails and, doing those things. Of course, I'm going in there and I am going to prompt it, and put in my answers and, kind of say, this is kind of what I'm trying to reach. But, in the end, I get a nice email that I can send out to those folks. And it definitely helped with that. Saved a lot of time because I can
And
tell
it
you,
saves a lot of guesswork, right?
yes,
Of sending out and spending all this time crafting this email that nobody's even going to open because your subject line sucks. Or, like it's able to go and to look at all the information that's out on the internet in a matter of seconds and to go, hey, this is what you're going to want to do. And for me, I use it all the time. I've been building a business. I've been building a platform and something that I've never done before, DJ, right?
yeah,
And similar to you, where you'd never released music like this before. I think that we are both kind of the epitome of how to use AI in the music business. I build all of my pitch decks, all of my media. I didn't even know what a media deck was a year and a half ago, right? Chat GPT is helping Willie through college. I didn't say that. Hey monkey, let me say hi to the monkey. We love you, honey. Our biggest fan at home. I know she's been listening to a lot of Dalton Jones with Daddy in the truck and all kinds of stuff too. But back to, I've been using it for everything. And we have ones that actually do the designs for me. So not just giving me the prompts and then, okay, good luck in Canva. No, you take it all the way to the right. There's so much that it can do that's going to save you time and money. And I'm sorry to the graphic designers out there. I couldn't afford to pay you all anyway, right? I've been getting, kind of, and I don't want to say ripped off, but you can't afford, $150 and $150 and just like, man, I trust these machines to do what they do well, right? And I feel paying a little bit of money to them to do it and to use it in that fashion it's not to say that it's going to completely replace art, but digital art, yeah, I recommend if you're an artist, you better pick up some paintbrushes and start making something that's tangible in this world, because digital art is done. Right? Like ain't nobody doing and charging graphic design. I feel bad for them. Y'all should have seen this coming. Right. And I know you're in that world at least, right? Like you're a computer guy, and a gamer guy. I think they have seen it coming, but yeah, I feel bad for people whose livelihoods kind of got taken from them, but also they were kind of gatekeeping a lot of those knowledge and talents away from people. And now the gates are open, and it's up to them now to make the pivot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, it does. It opens. That's what tools do. Tools, they open the door for more people to be able to do things. It's just like, with when everybody was using shovels and rakes, and then they started building tractors, and you got horse-drawn buggies and things of that. And the technology always brings more people to the table. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Willie is moving into the actual audio production side of it. He says he can't really use Chat GPT for that. No, but you're using your Bubba GPT for plenty of tips and tricks. I got about 7 messages last night. My microphone's not working. Oh, my monitors aren't working. Like, bro, you have YouTube, man. Like, there's only I'm not there with you. There's only so much I can do. So, Chad Allison, shout out to you, Chad. Chad's been featured on our shows and a good friend of ours up here in South Dakota. Yeah. And amazed at what Chatbox AI could do with my artwork for my single. Hell yeah, man. And for us guys that aren't artsy people, yeah,
this
logo, does a great job, man.
This one right here on my hat, like I told us, like, dude, I want a rustic Americana looking logo. Hook me up. And it was like, got you, bro. Yeah. Did it in 30 seconds.
How do you not? And it's not going anywhere, right? People are going to be making, I don't know why I see my friends are making all these stupid videos like, oh man, look at this like car blowing up behind me and making it look like an action video. I'm like, why aren't you making music videos? Why aren't you putting your music in this stuff? Like, what are you doing? And that's kind of my stuff. I got this whole EP that I haven't been able to do much with. The Scene Project just takes up so much of my time every day and growing this platform. But I'm looking forward to being able to actually put some work into my own music and releasing some stuff here. I made it a rush to kind of get this EP out here so I could at least be available for some Midwest Country Music Organization awards for the year. I was like, oh man, I got to get this out and get it done. But now I got, some videos that will go out this year that may be eligible for, music video of the year at next year's award show. So, AI is going to play a part in it. And that's really what it comes down to is it's not can it, it's how much of a part is it going to play? Is it going to write the script for your music video, or is it going to generate the entire thing? And that's really where we're at. It's not where we're going. We're here.
Yep. Yeah. Either it's one of those things, get on the train or you're going to get left behind. Absolutely.
Man, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are getting left behind right now. And we've been fortunate enough to work with Music Mogul AI, and we're going to talk to a lot about that. And yes, sir, it did. You're damn right. And we're going to keep using it. It ain't going nowhere. And we're going to continue to find people like Music Mogul AI that are doing even more in the business. Now we have a digital booking agent and some really great stuff. But we're going to talk about Music Mogul AI a little bit later in the show. I want to get into it. I want to play right here in the South and have you share this experience with all of us. Now, we haven't played the full version on the show yet, so I'm really excited about this one. Man, you put together such a cool song and the story. I'm going to put all your info up on the stage for everybody to check out as well while we're playing it. But this is right here in the South by our buddy DJ Dalton Jones. Oh, which one is it? There, it's right here. Okay.
Southern outlaw, born and raised, wanna take it back to the good old days. I miss the way things used to be. People look you in your eyes when they're talking, shake your hand before they start walking. I don't know what's gone wrong, but it needs to change. I was taught to say, sir and ma'am, you don't start a fight, but you never back down. Hold the door open if you see a woman coming. Something goes down, don't start running. Only thing you're giving in life is your name. Better make sure you don't bring in shame. Some few things in this life that you can live without. That's the way we do things. Right here in the South. Doing hard days work for a hard day's pay. Take a little and you put it in the plate. Treat a woman right, make sure the bills are paid. Things get tough, the tough get going. The good things in life are all worth knowing. Everyone down here was brought up this way. I was taught to say, sir and ma'am, you don't start a fight, but you never back down. Hold the door open if you see a woman coming. Something goes down, don't start running. Only thing you're giving in life is your name. Better make sure you don't bring in shame. Some few things in this life that you can live without. That's the way we do things. Right here in the South. Yeah,
Yeah, DJ, what a rocking track, man. Freaking love it.
Man, you know, I tell you that was the very first song we recorded. And you know, when I wrote that song, man, I was pissed off, just to be completely candid with you. I was pissed off, and I was just in a angry state of mind, and I wrote that, and I was like, yeah, I just let all the emotions pull out on the paper. And it was so fun. It was so fun writing it, so fun recording it. Josh did a phenomenal job on it. And I can tell you, man, when I got done in the studio, I put it on the speaker. I probably listened to it the whole way home, and it's like an hour drive from the studio. I was just listening to it, and because he told me, he was like, I want you to listen to this, and you tell me if you hear any spots where it just sucked and I need to tweak it or whatever. And I'm just listening to it. I'm like, dude, there's nothing wrong with it. It sounds perfect. And this was a mix. And of course, I finally ended up sending it back. I was like, dude, like, there's nothing to be done. It sounds great. You did an amazing job on it. So, but yeah, that was a fun song to do.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's like getting your first car, right? It's you can't stop smiling. You maybe tear up a little bit, kind of thinking about it and thinking about this whole journey that you've been on and everything that it means through the process.
the thousands of hours and time spent. And
yeah, man. Hey, I've been there, and that's why I had such a great time having you on the first time, because you were right in it. You still had that stupid smile plastered on your face coming out of the studio, right? Like, it doesn't fade. It takes a long time to kind of lose that feeling, and by the time you do, it's time to go perform it live and take it on the road, right? And then you get that feeling all over again. And when that starts to fade, then you get back in the studio and write some more. And you just keep rinsing and repeating this. And that's how you live that dream, man. And just keep on going. And what you've been doing, awesome. Chad Allison says, Dalton Jones, you got a new fan today. I knew you were going to like that one. Chad's got some good ones. He's got a whiskey song in here too that we're going to play. Chad, I know you're going to like that one. And Chad, brother, I'm going to have you on when you get ready to release this new music as well, and get you on the show here with us and have you tell us some stories. And Chad's in a band with his daughter. They call it Allison Harmony. And his daughter's a beautiful singer, and we've had a couple of shows together we've played now, and they've become really, really good friends. And I couldn't agree more with you. You know, I don't know if you're talking about me and Dalton or you're talking about Chad and Dalton, but I think we all should collaborate, right? And that's what building this community of the Midwest Original Music Organization is really all about. Is about building out this network of musicians that all get to become friends and fans of one another, and then seeing what happens from there, right? We're not a label, well, because we don't need labels anymore, right? Like you are your label, right? And you have all the tools to go out there and do it. And, you know, the barriers to entry to recording music continue to come down, and those walls are coming down. And we appreciate you. Hey, brother Chad, I appreciate you tuning in, man. It's really great to be in this music scene up here in South Dakota with you. We're trying to bring up Dalton from Alabama and get him to come up here and play some shows in the summertime. I don't think he wants anything to do with the cold, although it hasn't been cold lately. But it's been a heat wave here, man. It was like 50 all week, so I'm soaking it up outside in t-shirts and.
Yeah, it's been hot here at the house. I mean, we had 20-something degree weather, and then it went to 70 degrees, and then back to 20, and then back to 70 again. That's Alabama weather for you. It's we always say that Mother Nature's going through menopause here.
Constantly. 75-year menopause.
Yeah.
So talk about your live show. I mean, obviously you recorded these in there, and Josh played a lot of the instruments. Now, when you go out and play live, still doing them mostly solo acoustic shows?
Yeah, so right now I'm still doing solo acoustic, but I've got a full band now. We've started practicing together and doing some things, and the guys are so talented, super talented, and we're actually booking shows starting in really early March, kind of going out got a couple of shows booked already and really excited about that. Talking to several large venues. I've got my biggest show to date coming up next week. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be at Oxford Performing Arts Center, which is a local venue here to my house. It's only about 25 minutes from me, but it's a major venue. I mean, they had Jamie Johnson played there a couple of weeks ago. Not Travis. Oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. Holy crap.
Willie, you need to book us for your show, and then we have to come play it. So send us an email with a formal booking request. We don't operate on Facebook Messenger anymore. It's time for you to grow as a business owner as well, sir. You're in college to take music business and production, so time to get with the program. If you need some help crafting that email, you already know who to ask. It's ChatGPT.
Trace Adkins. Trace Adkins is who I was thinking
awesome.
about.
See, I knew if I filled a little time there, I was going to come back to you, DJ.
Yeah, Trace Adkins is playing there the night after I play, and it's super exciting. So I got
you headlining it, or you open it up for a national?
No, so this is they're doing this series. It's called the 10 by 10, and it's basically to showcase local talent, local musicians, and so it'll be myself and another girl. She's an artist from right up the road, and she's super talented too. Super excited to hear her, but I don't know which one of us will go first. It's a 2-hour show, so I'll do 45 minutes. She'll do 45 minutes, and we're playing all of our own music. So it's all original music, and super excited about it. I am really excited about this one. It's a big stage for me and big stage for her music. So I'm super blessed and really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hey, coming soon, Bubba GPT. Don't you worry about that, big guy. You got it. We got to perform at our big amphitheater up in Sioux Falls called the Levitt Amphitheater. Probably about 3,500 seat, I would say.
Awesome.
Just open grass. Everybody brings the lawn chairs out. We got to do that 3 years in a row. And I kind of took a break from even asking, about it. The booking agent changed and we kind of lost our in, but we've done it 3 years in a row. And I didn't really have any new music to share anyway. And we have so many talented artists that it almost felt like, we've been blessed, right? Like, use this as a blessing to someone else. There's only so many of these shows to go around, and there's so many talented individuals around in our area and around in just, where Sioux Falls is right pretty much on the border to Minnesota. It's real close to the Iowa border, kind of where they all come together. So you have all these super talented artists that are right in that area, like to spread it around. And it's the reason why, I started forming the songwriter showcase shows that we're doing now that we're going to be taking on the road in the spring as well, because that's what's important, right? Like, we all got to get this music and get it out there, find a way to get this stuff. If nobody's coming around to platform us, right? Like, nobody's building it. So we have to do it ourselves. And if I get to be the one who gets to travel around and, tour buses and show up with the production crew and to do the show, well, I consider myself a lucky man, and really looking forward to what this year is going to be crazy, man. I mean, I'm trying to plan this tour in March right now. That's taking up a lot of my time, but we got the Midwest Country Music Organization Awards in May. We already have the Josies on our list for September. Obviously, Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. We got all kinds of golfing that we're trying to do and capture content out on the golf course this year. Plus, try to play some shows of our own. Is like, man, really, my year's already set. Right? I mean, there's nothing to it but to do it at this point. Even if the shows aren't booked, the shows are booked. Like, we got places. We're going down to Buckles and Spurs Fest in Houston as well. And I may reach out. I might put you on a short list of people that, in case there's some cancellations, I'm friends with the guy who's booking and putting it on. So I'm going to send your info over to Tim and see if someone happens to cancel or something, if we can't get you on the show.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think I've had a couple people tag me in that too, so that'd be super awesome. I've got, a lot of things in the works right now, man. I mean, a lot of shows, a lot of just trying to slowly take over Alabama, and it's happening. I mean, I'm gosh, I mean, I've got a show coming up next week that's about it's over 2 hours from the house down in South Alabama. I'm going to do that. And then I've got some other ones that I'm talking to down on the coast, down there in South Alabama and Mobile, close to that area. So a lot of things happening. I got my first show coming up in Georgia here in a couple of weeks. So a lot of things are happening. It's just, it's been trying to evangelize and get my name out there and, let people hear that I'm here and hear my music. And that's been the coolest thing is that, as I'm doing this, there's more people are hearing what I've got. More people are hearing my music and becoming fans. And it's great because I go to places now and I go to venues and like people come up to me like, we talked about right before the show started, right here in the South, it hit #1 on that radio show up there in Asheville, North Carolina for me. And I had a guy that, and I've seen him, I recognized his face, but I didn't know his name, but he was a fan of my music. And he just said, dude, congratulations on that #1 song. And I was like, man, thank you. I'm so glad that you knew that. And thank you for that. So it's cool that people are starting to recognize me and they're hearing my music and enjoying it.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible the run you've been on, and to know that you've done it, on your own, that you've done it by yourself, because it's such a huge moment for other artists to see and to go, damn, if DJ can do it, I can do it too. And that's why I really wanted to have you on the show. Our first episode of Love Noise to start the year here. We've been on a little hiatus as Willie's been building his house and getting all of his, personal life back in order. Willie, you are as talented as us, but your talent is in other areas, right? You're going to be the guy behind that soundboard, making sure that we sound good. And you're going to be the guy with that podcast that everybody wants to go on and share their story and talk about how music saved them. And it's, we all have our talents to bring to the table, as much as I love being on stage, brother, my talent has been orchestrating and tour managing and doing a lot of this other stuff. And, we're very fortunate to have befriended a young man by the name of Dalton Daly, who is absolutely blowing up right now.
He's a freak,
man. His management team's like, hey, how do we get on that tour that you're doing? I was just like, you're on the tour. You are on the tour, and you may have just changed our venue locations, right? I mean, he's got over 400,000 followers on his Facebook page right now, millions of views that they're generating. And, it might take us from doing this showcase in bars and grills to doing it in some soft seat theaters, right? And that's really the difference that it can make. At the end of the day, there's still a bunch of small town Kentucky boys, right? Who have never done this before. They weren't necessarily trying to go viral. It just happened to them, and I'm more than willing to move heaven and earth to make sure that we not just take them on the road, but we showcase them in the best light possible and bring a lot to the table for them and teach them what they know, right? Teaching this young man and his management team and all these people around him how it's done, so that when they're approached by the big dogs, which is going to happen, like I'm trying to get on the road tomorrow. I'm like, can we start the tour early before Nashville's knocking his door down and trying to take him away from us? But I don't necessarily know that that's what they want to do, right?
Yeah.
They want to tour and everything, but it's better to slow roll it and to get out to kind of go through the growing pains while nobody's watching, rather than getting out on the road, playing a few shows that are too big for you, falling on your face and throwing it all away. Right.
Well, I don't know if you saw what happened to that kid, Mason, the kid that did Hank Williams in Walmart and went viral, and then he got signed and he come out with all these songs. Well, he got dropped by his label. He got dropped by his manager, and he just got ousted completely. Like I just saw it today. I was reading about it. I was like, oh my gosh, this kid could really sing. I mean, he did the yodeling and all that good stuff. And
Well, and the virality of a few clips and getting that out there does not necessarily mean that you're going to have a long career. And if you're not making millions of dollars for these people and putting it out there, then they're going to drop you, and now they own you, and they own a little piece of you moving forward. And that's what's so scary about signing some of these deals, and especially because everything's 360 deals now, right? You have to be so scared about signing anything. And it's something I cautioned you about a lot, even when you were making this deal, because I know that, through Josh, you got connections. I'm sure he can put this in front of some people that start coming to you with conversations, but being very honest with you, they're like, hey man, you got the juice. You know how this is working, and we got some tools and some relationships that are coming along that can give you a successful career, albeit you may not be playing arenas in the next 5 years, but you could be playing theaters for the rest of your life and not having to deal with all of the nonsense that the Nashville big dogs are going to feed you and try to put you through. And you're smart enough guy that you already know how to build it. Like, you've already built it. Why would you give that away? All you need is good people and the right team around you. Nobody's coming with a big bag of money and a big advance anyway, right? So it's about connecting with people at the end of the day. It's about connecting with other artists and building a team around you of not just musicians that are in your band or on the record with you, but that you can lean on when the times get hard. Right? When maybe the record sales aren't going the way, or that last song just didn't hit the way the other ones have, and radio's not picking it up, that you can lean on a buddy and say, hey man, you got a good thing going. Can you take me back out on the road with you? Can I expose some new people to my thing? Because crowds get stale. And that's what people I don't think realize, is that content, crowds, you can't just ask for everything from the same people all the time. You always have to be seeking out new fans. And just because you have 500,000 followers doesn't mean that all of them are your biggest fans, right? It means that they click that follow button. Right. Inside of that, there may be hopefully 10,000 that are going to buy tickets to every single show and to help you grow in that. But one person might have just liked one video, hit follow, and never sees your stuff again. You just don't know in this day and age. So it's never about the numbers. It's about the real connection with your fans. It's about learning how to capitalize on those moments. I hope you're building up a big old email list and growing that on the way, and you're doing that. Talk to us a little bit about some of these things that you've been working on to capture this moment, as far as the momentum that you have and some of the things that you're doing to make sure that when you arrive in these places, you can sell some tickets or at least fill some seats.
Yeah, so I do a lot of work with radio stations. So all the radio stations that are playing my music, I've sent an email to them. I go, I find their website, I do some research on my own. I get AI to help sometimes, but I go in there and I research it. I find their submission line, I find their submission email or a phone number that I can call, and I call them. And it's I'll look at it as back in the day when you had mixtapes and you're going out in the corner and handing out your mixtapes. Here, listen to my music. Here, listen to my music. It's the same thing. It's just a little bit more modern. But I'll be honest. I work anywhere from 80 to 100 hours a week, and that's not an exaggeration. And I do that every week. And it takes a toll on you. But at the same time, I realize that if I want this to happen and I want it to work, that I want it to, I've got to put in the work. I got to put in the effort. And so finding those radio stations, sending those emails, I've sent probably over 500 emails to radio stations, at least, if not more. And, those are all radio stations that I found just from research. And the cool thing is, with radio, once you get in with one station, a lot of times they're syndicated. So you get in with one station, well, then it gets played on another station in another town. Well, then there's a host on that station that has their show that's picked up on another town, and it's one big network. So it's kind of like you go here, and then you end up going here, and then you end up going there, and it's really a cool experience and a cool network. And I've befriended a lot of these radio hosts, and they're just great people. They want to see artists be successful. And, I try to share, I try to like their posts, and, try to be engaged when they engage with my stuff. And it's really worked well for me.
No, and that's a big part of it, that reciprocity. It's not just about, oh, hey, I'm getting played on these stations. It's about showing up for them. Hey, calling in and being like, hey, you want me to call in sometime and talk to your people and to provide that. But also, I'm going to share all your content and get people listening to your station and tuning in, not just for me, but in general, right? And it's so important in the grand scheme of things. Everybody's looking for collaborations. Hey, we love you. Night, night, monkey. You better go to bed for dad. It's so important to follow up, right? And to keep pushing it. And maybe, out of those 500, maybe 250 didn't even get open, right? And how are you following up on those 250 that didn't get open, and to say, hey, don't know if you saw this, right? This is my song. Maybe I can get, like, you can't just stop because you didn't get a response or they didn't play it. You have to keep going and keep pushing to get where you want to go. And like, brother, I feel you. 800. I wish I only worked 100 hours a week, right?
Yeah.
I wish I didn't spend as much time as I did in front of this screen and in front of this camera. Hell, I'm live 30 hours a week at this point, right? We do a live, and now that I got your MP3s, we'll be playing some of those on Unsigned Spotlight. But every day at noon, we're going live on our YouTube channel and across our social medias, playing independent music. We play 6 independent artists every single day. A lot of it new music and new artists every day. So you extrapolate that out, 30 songs a week times 50 weeks. We probably take a couple weeks off during the year, playing almost 1,500 artists, right? Or maybe 1,200, in between 12 and 1,400 artists, because a few guys we like a lot and we play their songs, we'll play their new tracks maybe a couple of times. But man, it's incredible the impact that we're going to have on this. And if you've listened to country radio, or any radio for that matter, you will notice that it's just a lot of the same stuff. And you maybe hear 10 new songs all year, right? And you're not getting a lot of that. But there are stations out there, some of them still independently owned, and some DJs that absolutely love, not Dalton Jones, but actual DJs that work at a radio station that love to spin, independent music and to put those people out there. You just got to do the work to find them.
Yeah, no, they are definitely there, and they are great people out there. I mean, I've met some great ones, that just do great work for independent artists, that want to help. They want to see you grow. And that's been so phenomenal, just like kicking country up there in Asheville. They started playing my music. I shared it with them. I actually found them on TikTok. That's another good avenue for finding radio stations and finding people in the music industry. Get on TikTok, engage, comment, talk to those people.
Play a 12-hour live and gain a few tens of thousands of followers.
Holy crap. Yeah, dude. Holy crap. I have been there and done that. It's still, oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, that's the real thing. And you got to get on there and talk to them, engage with them. And that's how I met the guys up there at Kicking Country. And I sent my song into them. I talked to Steele. He's the CEO up there. And he said, send your music in. We'll check it out. He listened to it and was like, we love it. So they started playing it on their indie special that they do every week. And they are a media-based radio station. I mean, they're a big dog. They've got over 1 million listeners, and they so started playing it on their indie special. And the next thing you know, their presenters, that's the new term for them now too, by the way, not DJs, is presenters. They started hearing the song and they're like, dude, it's a good song. We need to play it on the other shows. And so next thing you know, it started getting dumped in there. So like they might play, Riley Green, or they might play Ella Langley or somebody else. And next thing you know, they drop my song in there. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's a little bit different than being on the little indie show there. So it's, just having things like that happen. And, it's always good to see when you put a lot of work and a lot of effort into something, and when it pays off. If I could tell any artist that's listening or that watches this, don't take don't take no as a no, right? You know, like, I mean, it's not in the sense of sometimes no is a no, but you know, don't take no as a no. Sometimes it just may mean not right now. And you said that earlier. I mean, it's kind of that kind of thing. And I've had folks that I've submitted my music to, and you know, that right then they were like, hey, it's not really a fit for us. But it wasn't really that it wasn't a fit. It just didn't have any traction on that song yet. Well, now I've got streams, I got people listening to it, it's getting played on other stations, and I send it back to them. They're like, hey, we're going to put that on our show. So, you know, it's
press releases, man. Hey, you know what? Kicking 100 thinks this is pretty worth it. All of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
maybe we should be playing it. What are we missing out on? Because everybody's got FOMO, right?
Yep.
They don't want to be the one that wasn't playing Dalton Jones before he was Dalton Jones, the big star on his tour bus, and to get snubbed when they want an interview, right? They want to be able to say, no. We remember when Right Here in the South came out, we were one of the first stations that had it. And that's kind of the buzz that you have to create now on your own to do that. And the biggest thing to me is like a no response is never a no. You got to crack through the noise. And that's why using things like ChatGPT to look as professional as possible as you're out there and you're communicating with these people. If you have no subject line, I'm not even answering that email, right? Like it doesn't even matter. If your subject line sucks, I'm not opening that email, right? I delete more emails than I open, right? So for me, I don't even really accept song submissions through my email. It's all through a form, right? Give me the form. Give me all the information about you. Give me your bio. Give me all that, because I want to be able, when that song does hit, to go, oh, well, now I got the press article. I have everything ready to go. And people don't realize that when they're filling out the form, that they're giving me all of this other content to help them later on. I don't have a lot of time to do all the blog posts and everything right now, but I'm batching and saving all of that information so we can do it when we're ready. And we have a team here that can do those things. You bet your ass we're putting it out there. And we have an artist directory out there now. And I know that you're on it as one of our kind of featured artists of the Scene Projects. I haven't talked about it a whole lot, but if you guys go to thesceneprojects.com/artists, you can see all the people, not all the people, but, I think 50 we got of people who have been on the show with links to their websites, links to their episodes on the shows and interviews that they did with us. And that's something that we're really going to focus on growing, because that AI EO, right? That AI SEO helps now too. So the more links that you have, backlinks to things with your name on it and your name on the internet, matters, right? And I'm sure if you look up Dalton Jones at the end of this and seeing it, that you're going to see, oh man, he's been on the Scene Projects too. And we're just waiting for, next January when we're sitting here, and that means something. Right. And not that it doesn't mean a little something to a few people now. It's going to mean a lot to a lot of people by the end of 2026. And I'm really looking forward to that. Not in a selfish way, in a way of like, man, I can't wait till the 500 people that have really bought into me this year get their time in the sun. Right. And I think I've talked about this with you before, is that, we're not planting a garden. We're planting a damn forest. Right. And a forest full of trees takes a hell of a lot longer to grow, and it needs a lot more sunlight, and it needs a lot more water. And we've been throwing that water down on this community. And when we rise, we're all going to rise together, buddy. And when any of us rise in that matter, we all kind of rise together. So that's the beautiful thing about what we've been building, this community around the Scene Projects, around the Midwest Original Music Organization, other organizations like the Midwest CMO, and I'm sure you got them down in Alabama. The Josie Music Awards are another great group of people. And it's my recommendation as an artist is get into as many of these things as you can. Right? Regardless of your location, we're working with the Midwest Talent Awards right now as well. They're going to be held in Detroit in March. That's kind of our big tour kickoff. But there are a bunch of people in Ohio. They're mostly around the hip hop and R&B world, right? They're a lot different station, but I encourage all of our artists, man, apply, throw it in there. You never know what's going to happen. And even if you only get a nomination, right? That nomination is another mark on that resume that separates you from the person next to you that doesn't have that. Right. And it's just about using all those things to your advantage.
Yeah, you do. And there's so many tools out there. I mean, like even with Facebook and stuff like that, I always tell people that, you know, you've got to be active on Facebook. You got to post, you got to do things. You know, I got the check mark on there. Then I got monetized on Facebook. I don't make a lot of money off of my stuff, but I do make, you know, I do get paid for some of the stuff that I post on there. So, you know, those are all different revenue streams, and the more revenue streams that you can generate for yourself, the more freedoms you have, the better you can, you know, focus more on writing, or focus more on going to the studio and recording more and doing bigger things, or booking bigger shows, you know. So that's what I've really been trying to do here as of late, is try to just, you know, grow my social media presence more and more gradually, but grow it, try to reach more people, and try to reach more people with my music, share stuff on socials, share stuff with the radio stations, and do things of that nature. And it's paid off. I mean, I've had, you know, if you would have told me I would be sitting right here where I'm at today a year ago, I said, no way. You know, like, I've recorded 3 songs now. I've got 2 of them playing on the radio. The third one hasn't even come out yet. It's coming out in next week. And, you know, it's just so cool to see, you know, that this stuff is kind of happening at the pace that it's happening. And I know that it's because of the work that I've poured into it. You know, I know it's because I've worked hard towards it, and it's paying off. And that's the thing, is you just got to keep grinding and keep that nose down.
Well, and you've stayed consistent. This stuff doesn't happen overnight, you know. Chad had a question here. SoundCloud, Linktree, are you using any of that stuff?
So I do use SoundCloud. I don't really put it out there. I don't put my SoundCloud out there, to be honest with you. I really use SoundCloud. This is what I use SoundCloud for. I use it for submissions, right? Because what I have found, what I do personally, is before I release a song, so before it hits, you know, Apple and Amazon and Spotify or YouTube, whatever it's going to, before it hits any of those, I will put it on SoundCloud. And I don't tell anybody except for right now. But I use that to send it to radio stations, or to send it to promoters, or to send it to playlists or other things, so I can start pitching it before that song releases, right? So they've got a way to listen to it before it releases. And then, of course, I absolutely have a Linktree. I use Linktree, and I deck it out. The really cool thing about Linktree that you can do is, and a lot of artists don't know this, but with Linktree, you can actually go in and you can set your song up for pre-saves, and it will generate a pre-saves page for you. So you can literally go on there, add your song, and like, I set mine up as a hot link, right? So the second somebody opens my Linktree, well, they'll see my Linktree for just a second, and then boom, it pops up and it says, hey, Dalton has a new song coming out on such and such date at this time. Pre-save it right now. And it's got an easy button. They can just press it, boom, done. And then they can hit the little X, and then they can go back to my Linktree. And, you know, that's stuff that you've got to do. You've got to do that. Linktree is really important, especially when you're starting to send your EPK out. You know, on your EPK, instead of having to, and if you don't know what an EPK is, electronic press kit, but when you go to send your EPK out, they're going to ask for all of your social links. And so having that link tree there that you can put all of your social links on, it saves you all the time and effort from having to go in there and say, well, Facebook is this, and you know, TikTok's, instead of having to go through all that. It's great. So 100%, if you're doing it, yes, do it, vamp it up, make it look as cool as you can. It is one of those apps is probably worth having the premium for. I have the premium for it, and it's definitely worth it.
Chad's been releasing some new music, getting ready to put it out there, and they've had some other stuff coming out and you know, getting it out into the world, but you know, still relatively new, you know, to the whole process. So I know he's been doing his homework, and you gave him a little bit of validation here that he's on the right track. I love it, man.
Yeah, no, well, and you know, the cool thing about that is, you know, depending on who your distributor is, I use TuneCore for my distribution for my music. I love TuneCore. They have great resources for all artists. You get a lot of discounts on certain different services and things. But you know, you can literally take your ISRC number, which every song has an ISRC number, or I think I can't remember what the other is, an IS something, but anyway, you can take your ISRC number and link that to your link tree, and that's how it tracks your release data, and it'll create a link that you can go in there and share with all of your folks, and it's awesome.
Yeah, Chad, and that's really what this show is about. And obviously, Dalton's got some great music to share as well, but it's really about sharing our knowledge and bringing the Midwest, the MOMO meetups that we were trying to do. And Chad, I know you tapped in with a couple of these with us before too. I was paying for Zoom and nobody was showing up. And it just kind of got hard to get people that link every time. Where, look, I have this platform. I have the Scene Projects. I've built up the YouTube and the and the Facebook channels for a reason. I might as well use them to their full extent. And with StreamYard, I just have so many more capabilities to share info out here. Speaking of sharing, let's share some more music, man. I want to get your song Whiskey Waylon and Jesus, or Whiskey Jesus and Waylon, right? That's what it is.
Yep.
We're going to play that one next, and then we're going to talk about the stories behind this one, which we got too. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to recommend DistroKid. Those pay-for services, yeah, they might be okay. You can use a service called 1RPM that I do, and it's totally free, and your stuff will stay up there forever too. So I know that DistroKid may put some stuff out there. Maybe you get a little extra juice from that, but the second you stop paying, your music gone. So if you're looking at maybe using some other distribution services, 1RPM.com is one that I use, WONERPM. It's totally free. So if you're not really, sure if you're going to always have that money available and you're worried about missing a payment. Now, I know Chad's a principal at a local high school here. So, he's not a, rich man, but he's not a poor man either like me. That's my problem, is that I forget one week and then, there went my whole catalog. Son of a.
Yeah.
Let's get all your information back out there for everybody to follow. You guys, if you're interested in working with Dalton or seeing more of his videos and everything, I encourage you, go check him out on the YouTube and finding him. Shoot him a text message. I'm sure he'd love to put you on a text list or something soon too. And this is his song, Whiskey, Jesus, and Waylon.
Mama prayed all daddy word just
Let's go. All right, man. Yeah, that fiddle sets that off. Rand Brown says he wrote that one.
He did. He actually did. So Rand, Rand reached out to me a couple of months back, and I kind of had this vision, of like, I want to record this music, and I wanted to do my own music, right? And I kind of had it full set, like I was locked in, like I was going to do the music I had wrote. And Rand, he messages me and he says, dude, I got this song that I wrote. You would kill it. You need to do it. And I was like, well, I was kind of reluctant at first, but I was like, send it to me. I want to hear it. And dude, the second I heard the demo, I was like, oh, we're doing that song 100%. So Rand was, he was kind enough to share that song with me, and we went and recorded it, and man, it such a fun song. I love the lyrics, and yeah, the fiddle, man, I can tell you. And I told Rand this, like, we actually wanted to release this song months before it came out, like probably a month and a half, 2 months. And I told him, I was like, dude, I want to put fiddle on it, and I'm waiting for the fiddle to get done. We got to get some things in order and stuff. So we got that fiddle done, and it was worth the wait on it because it turned out so good. So good.
Awesome. Judah, say what up, DJ.
What's up?
That's my oldest boy, Judah, getting on the show. He, it's so funny that I ended up a content creator now because he always wanted to be a YouTuber, right, Judah?
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Well, we're working on it, buddy. We built you up a nice little platform already, and we got it ready here. You're going to be able to meet guys like DJ and listen to a lot of cool music, go to a lot of cool concerts, and sit front row. What do you think about that?
Sounds like a good time.
Anytime, you just let me know.
Yeah, well, we're going to get it done. Hey, man, I want to talk to my boy, so I want to play the last song that you sent us in too, and I don't want to keep you from your family all night.
This one I'm gonna go ahead and share. This is brand new. It's not even out yet.
Oh snap! So we're getting to break it here again, live on the Scene Project. DJ, you can just keep doing this the rest of our lives, buddy. This one is this one's called "Simple Life's the Dream."
I wrote this about my kids too, so perfect.
Well, a great one for me and Judah to sit in here and take in together, man. This is Dalton Jones with "Simple Life's the Dream," and you ain't lying, brother.
Waited my whole life to buy that old pickup truck. I still live in this little town where I grew up, and I live right down the street from everybody with my name. One day I hope my kids can all do the same. I was raised up in North Alabama, right outside of this little bitty town. Got Baptist churches and big oak trees, good bass fishing, muddy old creeks. I always knew this is right where I wanted to be. Home sweet home, the simple life's a dream. From Friday night lights to Sunday morning grace, one thing's for sure, I'll never leave this place. The memories made to carry them along. This little town that's where I belong. I was raised up in North Alabama, right outside of this little bitty town. Got Baptist churches and big oak trees, good bass fishing, muddy old creeks. I always knew this is right where I wanted to be. Home sweet home, where the simple life's a dream. I was raised up in North Alabama, right outside of this little bitty town. Got Baptist churches and big oak trees, good bass fishing, muddy old creeks. I always knew this is right where I wanted to be. Home sweet home, where the simple life's a dream.
Dalton Jones, what a ride, man. What a ride you've been on. It's been such a pleasure to share in this with you. And Rand says he's sitting in the studio tonight, but took a break. Got you playing on the big screen watching this show. It makes me proud. And keep on writing. If you caught him, hey, Brand, that sounds like a hell of a deal for all of us, buddy. So taking it back, man. I love it. You North Alabama boys are some incredible songwriters and performers. So love what you're putting out there. Dalton, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight, sharing everything that you've been through, sharing some tips with all of our friends out there that are just starting to make music on their own, and being part of the scene, brother. You are why I built this platform, right? And exactly why we're doing it. And you're going to be such a big part of why we continue to not just do this, but to build this community and to grow the Midwest Original Music Organization and everything we got to do. So, man, hey, there you go. I love Oregon. Rand, where are you at in Oregon, man? I spent some time out there in Bend and tripping all over the place, Portland and down through Eugene, all the way down to Grants Pass and through there. So a lot of great gigs in the state of Oregon. Yeah, man. Judah, you want to say bye to DJ?
Hey, we'll see you, dude. You be good.
Yeah, I said it's nice listening to your music.
Thank you.
He's gonna be a big star, Judah, and we're gonna get to hang out with him and go backstage and celebrate all of his big moments, and it's gonna be a charmed life that we get to lead, man. So for everybody that's been tuning in, we appreciate you. Chad Allison spent most of the night with us. Thanks, Rand, for tuning in. West of Portland, I got a lot of friends out there around the Happy Valley, and a lot of good friends out there around that place. So DJ, congratulations to you on all these big things that have been happening, and I really look forward to continuing to be able to put you on here, man. Thanks for bringing the song out and breaking that news here on the Scene Projects. I hope we keep making a habit of that. We want to be that place where people bring it in. So thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. And Chad, appreciate you. Everything you guys are doing, man. It's you guys are helping us grow. So make sure you share this show, even though it's over. The live continues to be up on Facebook and all these other places. Share this out there. Let people know that the Scene Projects is where you come to find the next great artist coming out that's going to be all over your radio. So with that, DJ, I just want to say thank you again. Have a great night. Thanks for giving me some of your time always. And we can't wait to see you out there making big moves, brother.
Absolutely, man. Anytime you let me know, I'll come back and we'll do another one with you.
Heck yeah. Everybody have a great night. This is Bubba Starts with the Scene Project. That's Dalton Jones, and you're going to hear a lot more from both of us.